Welcome to the Porsche Club Insider, your one stop for all things Porsche and PCA. Here's your host, Vu Gwyn, and the Insider crew.
Welcome to episode 178. I want to start with thanking our presenting sponsor, Pirelli, producing tires to achieve the highest levels of performance, safety, noiselessness, and grip on any road surface. Innovative tires that can satisfy even the most specific mobility needs of the end consumer. Today we are at PCA National Office, and we have Mr. Sass back at the table, and of course Manny to my right, and Damon at the controls. Thank you everyone for listening. If you aren't currently a PCA member and own a Porsche, what are you waiting for? Grab that VIN and make yourself a member. If you don't currently have a Porsche and are looking for one, check out our test drive program again at www.pca.org. So everyone, how was your weekend?
It was pretty busy.
Yeah? You did like a full Chesapeake day Saturday, and I think you did something Sunday too.
Well, Saturday was supposed to be, we had Cars and Coffee, then we went to Porsche Young's Mills where they had a reveal. I guess we might as well show that. So we're going to have Peter back on. He came on a few months ago to talk about this project they were working on for the, what's that called now?
Classic Restoration
Restoration Contest, for the East Coast, obviously. And last year they had done like a Safari style 996, and this year they had gotten a 996, and they were going to put an aero kit on it. But the funny part of the story, if you listen to that episode, was they bought a set of Gambella wheels, and they didn't check the offsets. So the offsets were like for a turbo body, so it wouldn't fit the narrow body. So instead of just selling the wheels and taking a loss, they said, well, we'll just widen the fenders.
As you would.
Which is like so much like a guy thing. I can fix this. And so we were all wondering, what's this going to look like? You know, that they're going to repaint it and everything. So it came out looking very, very nice.
Did they have to widen the front and the rear, or just the rear?
They did the front, I think, just to balance it out. But it's so subtle. And
am I good to go to the next photo now?
Sure, yeah.
The big reveal?
Yeah.
Ooh,
yeah,
they
did a phenomenal job. Now, my wife tells me the color has like a little purplish to it. It looks black to me.
So for those that aren't watching on YouTube and just listening to us, it definitely looks a little wider. A 996 with gold Gambella wheels. It looks like a blackish purple paint. Fenders don't look obviously wide. It's actually quite tastefully done.
They took the and Peter's going to come back on in a couple episodes to talk about it, but essentially they took a turbo bumper and they used that as a template, if you will, to pull out the fenders.
Nice.
So they didn't add any metal. They didn't. I was thinking more of a RWB it was going to look like.
Okay.
So it only had like I think 10 weeks to do this. So I thought easy route. It's going to be a bolt-on flare. But no, they pulled it out, and they pulled the front out a little bit too, and
it came out taco wing aero kit.
That looks good.
On it.
Here's the one question I have, and I don't know why this isn't a thing, but I love the C4S reflector.
Yeah.
And nobody seems to do that when they're doing 996 builds. That seems like an obvious ad. And you rarely see it.
Because you need a unique rear engine lid. The C4S center reflector doesn't just go on this, right?
No, I know. But I mean, you can certainly source a C4S lid. It's just such a cool look. I don't know why.
No. So this was a 99, and like I said, we're going to hear more about it. But after that, we went to a Mexican restaurant where we had a lunch before the region would do a tour. So when we came back out to the parking lot where people were starting to stage the cars, someone noticed that another member's Boxster Spider had a flat. It was 19-inch wheels, I think, but barely any sidewall to begin with, but you could tell that it was low. So, of course, two of us had patch kits. So we said, let's see if we can patch it. So we rolled the tire, we got them to move the car around, and we saw that it was more like a gash on the tread.
Oh.
It wasn't a visible screw. Yeah. So we said, well, let's try it out. We put the plug in, and you could still feel air coming out.
Not good.
So we were like, so, it was a choice of. I was trying to avoid using the fix-a-flat because I said that's going to take out your TPMS sensor, and it's going to just be a pain to clean up on the wheel when it comes time to replace the tire. So we pumped it all the way up to 50 pounds of max, and I told him, I said, I'll follow you to the dealer, which was 20 minutes away, if you want to try, and we can stop midway and add air if it gets down to like 15 pounds. So we made it all the way to the dealer. The dealer service was closed, and they were going to leave it outside, so he didn't feel like leaving it outside. So we went to the next dealer, Porsche Hunt Valley, and Steve Postal, who's been on the show, he was there on a Saturday, and their service was closed too, but he opened the doors up and brought the car inside.
Nice.
So the moral of the story, though, is those patch kits are a good thing to have, and it's easy to store in your car. Plug kit. Yeah, plug kit. You can get them at Walmart. They're like $10, I think. The one that I had was different than the one someone else had, and the one that someone else had was actually, I think, better and easier to use. I've never seen a kit that had two different types of plugs.
Oh, really?
A long one and a short one.
Oh, that's interesting.
And they also had almost like looked like a cork. What's it called? A cork remover.
Yeah.
The corkscrew.
Corkscrew.
Yeah.
But it was much thicker than the one I had. Was just like
the reamer.
Textured. Yeah.
Yeah.
And we used his, and it was so much easier. We went in and out of the hole really quick to to be able to put in the plug. And everyone was asking us or watching us, where'd you get this kit you guys have? So we told them, Walmart, any auto parts place sells it. But in an emergency, it's not a bad thing to have.
Yeah.
This falls under the category of news you can use. I know what I'm going out and buying right after this is over.
Because you're on the road.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So the other thing that Manny just kind of glossed over, I know a lot of cars have this instead of having a spare, is the fix-a-flat can that you can put stuff inside and then it roll around and it will seal up your hopefully seal up your hole or leak. But the problem is, as Manny stated, if you use that, then more than likely you're going to mess up your TPMS sensor, your tire pressure monitoring sensor in that wheel, which means a lot of money because you got to get that wheel dismounted, cleaned up, and put a new sensor in and have it recalibrated and such. So I always say to people, if you think you can patch it or plug it enough to get it to where you're going, then do that. Don't use that fix-a-flat can, because it just...
That's the ultimate
and honestly,
emergency lasting.
I don't know that I've ever have been around anyone that have successfully used a can of fix-a-flat. Like, usually it just like foam just comes out of the hole and it still doesn't hold pressure. So
Manny, on that press drive, didn't you and Patrick Long use fix-a-flat?
Well, actually, I think it was Dave. What's his name from PCA? Patrick was there, but it was Dave who said, let's just plug it up with the fix-a-flat. And I guess we didn't look behind the tire because it was the whole sidewall was gone.
Exactly.
And everything just came pouring out. The one side was a complete...
That's my experience with fix-a-flat. I mean, it's like CPR. It works in like 5% of the...
David Engelman.
Yeah.
Nope.
No, not Engelman?
No, it was... He was a four-door guy. It's going to hit me right in the podcast after the podcast.
Was it Calvin at that point?
Calvin was there, but
was there?
It was. I think it was a Michael Tam equivalent.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, anyways,
Burkhalter. David Burkhalter?
Nope.
Dang it. All right, I'm going to stop playing this game.
We do a lot of Davids at PCA. But yeah, it's worth getting this kit just in case. And luckily, this happened at a PCA event. That happened in the parking lot.
Yeah.
And my wife went with another member's wife. She was solo, and they did the tour while Jonathan and I they took care of his car and everything. And in the end, we still met at the ice cream place, so it was like perfect timing for everything.
Do we have a picture of the kit just for everybody to...
Unless Damon can look it up on Walmart. I don't know.
Yeah, I can do that real quick. Give me a sec.
Yeah, but anyway, that was my weekend.
Yeah.
Very good.
I'm gonna go grab one.
I've also, at Parade, I was walking or coming back and walking through the parking garage, and I saw two members in the back of, I think it was a 997 or something like that. Also flat, and with the regular reamers that, like, you really have to ream it out pretty well.
Yeah.
Or it's so tough to get that plug in. And so they weren't so sure about how to do that. So I plugged their tires, and they had to get back to like New England, somewhere pretty far from Oklahoma.
And this is something that we rarely talk about, but the disappearance of the full-size spare and, the advent of no spare at all, run flat tires, pretty annoying if you spend a lot of time on the road and flats.
But you don't really want run flat tires on a kart.
Yeah, run flat tires are
not
terrible.
on a performance car.
Right.
And the second problem is, where do you put the bad tire at?
Right.
I mean, the Mecum has a spare tire, a space saver, but you have plenty of room in a Mecum to put your damaged tire. But where do you put it in this Boxer Spider? Especially if you got a passenger.
Right.
And especially if it's a rear tire.
Not to be old guy yelling at cloud, but
But you're gonna be.
But I'm gonna be. But I mean, you used to lift the hood of like a long hood 911, and what would you see? A full, Fuchs alloy with a full size tire on it, and you take off the flat one, put it where you got the spare, and everything was right.
Today's world, you have AAA. Someone's going to flatbed your car. You're going to have to dismount the tire. No one does it on the side of the road.
Because that spare tire was the same size tire that was on the car.
Yeah.
Right.
That's not possible now.
Right. I know. Yeah. But I'm...
Okay, old
those
man.
were the days.
All right. All right. Let's see. Couple things. I was real quickly was able to head to New York City for less than 24 hours, together with Porsche Design, and Orlando Bloom was there, as well as Ferdy Porsche, unveiling a new Chronograph 1 in partnership with Hodinkee. Hopefully I'm pronouncing that correctly.
Oh, the watch
folks.
Market. Yeah,
exactly. Very cool place. It was at Watches of Switzerland. They had a bunch of cars parked out on the street. The road was somewhat blocked, and photo opportunities for many people. Unveiled the watch. The whole time, Orlando Bloom was wearing the PCA Member Edition watch, which was cool. And he also gave us a shout out during the presentation. It was cool to see Ferdy there. Saw the who's who of all that were from Porsche Cars North America, the folks at Porsche Design from Germany. And a lot of the people that were just recently with us at Porsche Parade, they were also there.
Yeah.
Well, I asked Vu to talk about this because my little Cars and Coffee group was complaining that why did Porsche pick Orlando Bloom? And
we just heard a loud boom. I didn't know what that was. Anyways,
I live in Monterey City, so the bang, so any loud bang,
I was getting ready to duck.
As long as I'm not bleeding, it's okay.
Yeah.
Anyway, so you get to meet Orlando Bloom, and so everyone who's my Cars and Coffee group who said that Orlando Bloom didn't have anything to do with Porsche, he actually does.
He does, very much so.
He struck you as a real enthusiast, right?
He's a real car guy.
Yeah.
And he knew his stuff, and he was talking about his various cars, but the car that is like his forever Porsche is one that he's owned for quite some time, 73 911S. How cool is that?
Okay.
Cool.
What color?
Black.
Black.
And then when he was talking about, or when the interviewer asked, what would you like to do next? He's like, I'd like to, take a Porsche and modify it. And so, of course, I took the opportunity to invite him to Unstock, and I said, you can come and take a look at all of these modified Porsches, and then you can decide what you want to do. So he was super excited about that. But true car guys, incredibly nice. There were a lot of people. I try not to fanboy, whatever, but I did take a picture. But most people were just oh, can I get an autograph? Kind of like, oh, so I let him do his thing. I just thanked him for wearing the PCA Member Edition watch. For those of you that aren't familiar, so Porsche Design, in celebration for our 70th, they made a watch for all PCA members. So you can go to Porsche Design, order the iconic Chronograph 1, and you can get your region name, your name, and your membership number, and you get a special PCA band, NATO strap, I think is what they call them. And he was wearing it proudly, and and I'm not going to spoil it because I think we might have a story opportunity for you, Rob, for Pano, and he'll tell you he has a connection to the Chronograph 1 when he was younger, and the story of how he ended up with the 73S.
Can you name a movie that Orlando Bloom was in?
Pirates of the Caribbean, right?
It's so funny, and many people use that as the.
I just want to make sure.
I mean, I'm
not. We're not. He's not the one who's going to interview
Lord
us.
of the
I'm
Rings,
hard-
Legolas.
Yeah.
He's the elf.
He's
Because of course elf owns Porsches.
All right.
Yeah. All right, and then man, I got to spend some time behind the wheel of my 996 last Saturday, which was very cool. I autocrossed with the Potomac region where they were doing their celebration of the 70th anniversary. They call it Porsche Fest, and they have autocross. They had a Concours. They had a DE. Their historian also put in a region museum, and so, anyways, it was a running at the Washington circuit. Bogdan got to experience. He did taste of the autocross, which means you can sign up to get a ride along. So I took him out for I think 3 laps.
You didn't let him drive your car?
He didn't ask. I mean, by the time we did his thing, he like took off and went to go shoot DEs. But I certainly would have let him drive it if he wanted to.
That was my next question.
Yeah, I would have let him drive.
Speaking
Yeah.
of the 70th anniversary, I would be extraordinarily remiss if I didn't once again take the opportunity to thank you and Manny for all of your help in putting together the September 70th anniversary issue of Panorama in terms of wrangling cars, helping with the photo shoots. You guys were both absolutely indispensable.
You owe Vu lunch for the
That was a rough one.
the national airport photo shoot.
The one that went from midnight until 4:30 in the morning.
Because we were already in Oklahoma City for setting up for parade, and you were coming the next day.
Yeah.
And you had to the photo shoot started at midnight or something like
It
that.
started at midnight. Yeah.
Yeah.
In the rain, you had to tow
In the rain, I
356 in the
towed
rain
my
down to downtown DC.
Yeah.
I'm still surprised we got permission to shoot there. But okay,
So hopefully the photos were worth it.
they were worth it. I've seen them and they're incredible. And I think the readers are going to like it as well. But does the lunch I owe you offset the lunch you owe me?
Oh, I do. That's
for
true.
Still,
We do. It might cancel out.
yeah.
Let me just mention this one thing that that happened when Bogdan was with me on the autocross, and maybe some of you listeners can explain to me how this works. So my 99 does not have it has traction control or
Yeah,
Traction
just
control.
traction.
it has traction control. And so on my dash, I actually have a little sticker that says turn traction control off when autocrossing, right? And the reason being is normally I just find that the car kind of like holds it kind of acts funny when I'm autocrossing. Well, this one run, Boggs was with me, and so we're getting inside of the car, and I forget to turn the traction control off. So, okay, whatever. I'll just finish this run. I can already tell like the first half of my run, like the car is just not, it's just not normal. And on like almost to the end of the gate, and it's like this long sweeper where I really do like to like let the rear end kind of come around, and kind of throttle steer. And I did that, but because I had traction control on, which is opposite of what most people would think, it somehow locked something up and it pitched me the other way, and I spun the car. I don't know if we can put the video in later, but you can see like I'm very consistent in what I'm doing, but then all of a sudden this traction control kicks in, and now I'm going sideways. It was kind of crazy.
I mean, we texted a little bit. I'm not surprised. I always turn traction control off wherever I go, autocross or not, because I've been in the rain, for example, and if traction control on a 987 kicks in, it's 50% whether it helps you or hurts you.
Don't you have PSM in your car?
No, just traction control.
Oh, really?
Well, I mean, it says PSM. PSM doesn't save you. Like that system.
But that's different than
sucks.
traction
It's
control.
different. Yeah.
Yeah, well, you can only turn off PSM. There
Yeah.
is no traction control, so it's
Yeah.
PSM on or off.
But do you have mechanical limited slip, or is it?
Well, it is mechanical, but it didn't come stock with it. But
Well, I thought you have
regardless,
the aftermarket.
But see,
regardless.
what I don't-
So you've talked about, Manny, how PSM like it helps you. I think, and I think Aaron back in the day they told me, like leave PS on, it helps it. PSM does not help you.
No, I got to disagree
No,
with that.
100%,
I gotta
100%. I've autocrossed it. I've left traction control. on. It
I've
does not
instructed
help.
in cars with people who turn PSM off and on.
Yeah.
And it doesn't beat the laws of physics. It's not going to.
It acts like traction control on those cars.
Well,
But it does more than traction control, though.
And
Well,
it
it
depends
doesn't
on
help.
the goal. If you're ultimately going faster and you think you can handle it without it, that's one thing. But I think for novice drivers,
Yeah.
keeping it on is
Sure.
definitely it saves.
I used to
it
tell my
definitely saves
students,
people.
you can turn it off, but I'm going to be out of the car when you turn
My
it off.
thoughts on traction control or PSM from that era is, if you don't have a lot of track experience or autocross experience, that you probably should leave it on. But if
Yeah.
you do, then maybe leave it on, in certain conditions.
Yeah.
But it surprises me more than helps.
Again, my traction control on the 99 is not like the electronics where it like squeezes the brakes or anything like that, right? Like it's like a mechanical traction control.
Well, it's electronic in the sense that, it detects slip, and then it probably retards the engine timing or something, or cuts the engine a little bit.
Right, exactly.
I could be wrong, but I don't think it's brake-based.
But then again, even though it happened, I still don't know why it pitched me it was.
Well,
it was quite
the
I
way
don't
I
say
think
violent,
of it,
but it was not a apply less throttle and the car just settles down. Like it really spun me around.
well, if you're leaning on the car, you're turning right, you have a little bit of opposite lock,
Yeah.
and traction control hits in,
yeah,
it's going to pitch you the other way.
it did, and that's exactly what it did.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's because you're better than traction control.
Oh.
So, for
Well,
what it's
anyways,
worth.
so that was one of those things, and why I have the sticker. And usually when I get in, that's the first thing I do. But I was talking to Boggs, getting him ready. So, but had a great time. Thank you to the Potomac region for the great autocross, and also the rest of the event was very good.
That was the longest excuse for messing up on an autocross. I've
I knew
ever
I
heard.
was just waiting. Cue Manny for the snarky blame the machine and not the driver comment. And did he let me down? No, he did not.
Guess how many runs we had?
I think you said like 6 or 8.
8 runs.
8.
Fantastic.
Now, as great as that sounds, what was your fastest time?
So because I had all those, I had some things going on with Boggs in the first 3. So then finally I kicked him after he left. I'm like, okay, now I got to get serious. I got to get a decent time. And usually if we do 5 runs, like my 4th run is usually good, or my 3rd run is good. Usually the last one is not the good one because you just overdrive it, right? But I don't know. For whatever reason, my 8th run, on Saturday was in fact the fastest one. But I feel like I wasn't fast on Saturday because there were some people that normally I would be ahead of.
All right, here comes Manny.
That I wasn't ahead of. So I don't know. Was it me?
Usually means
Good
you're
job,
not,
Al Pacheco, if
that
you are
usually means-
listening.
All right, Al. Props to you, bro.
It means you're not fast when other people are in front of you.
All right, let me jump in on another 996 topic because I put 800 miles on my 996 this past weekend, and I think finally solved kind of a long-running issue, which is the creeping temperature on a long drive when you're sitting in traffic. I'd had the fans checked, the low speed.
Resistors?
Excuse me.
The resistors, have you had them
Yeah.
changed?
Thanks for spoiling. Thanks
Oh,
for the-
I'm sorry.
Yeah, thanks for that.
He thought he had just discovered fire.
So the fans were cycling the way they're supposed to when,
Yeah.
you check but, after a long drive, on a warm day, they don't seem to be working the way that they should. So as you correctly pointed out, it was
could have just asked me.
I know I could have. I know. But, honestly, I thought, so it was the fan resistors. Now the car never gets hotter than, splitting the 0 and the 180.
Yeah.
Which is the way it should be. But, yeah, I mean, it's an odd problem. The fans are fine, but the resistors start acting wonky after they get heated up after you've been driving for a while.
And where did you buy, how did you resolve, where did you get the resistors? And did you replace all of the resistors or?
Well, as it turns out, the new fans that you buy have a built-in resistor. If you replace just the resistor, from what I understand, it's not a click thing. It's a cutting, splicing, and doing all that. But yeah, new fans have built-in resistors, so I just replaced
fans.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, it wasn't all that expensive. Honestly, I think it was cheaper than buying resistors. So, yeah, happy day.
Yeah. Yeah. So for those of you that have maybe some concerns about your fans not coming on at the right time, if you have a Durametric or access to PWIS, what you can do is you can trigger your fans, and the resistors need to kind of react based on the trigger of the software, and you can see whether or not your resistors are working at the correct values.
Right, but I mean, I think if I'm not mistaken, that they can, if the car is cold or even moderately warm, or I think in my case it's after a 4+ hour drive when the resistors have finally just packed it in and said I'm not resisting anymore. So and that's what I was seeing in the beginning of a drive, stuck in traffic, the car and the oil, the coolant and the oil are more than at operating temperature. The resistors are still working okay, but after like hour 4 they're not. So that's what I was experiencing, and that's what I am no longer experiencing. So
that's something I'm going to invest. My temperatures are fine, I think, for now, but I do want to check them just in case.
Yeah. But I mean, all work perfectly. 90-degree day or high 30s, mid 30s Celsius on the 401 in Toronto, which makes the 405 in LA look absolutely like a picnic. Everything was good. So
Celsius,
I think problem solved.
Yeah.
Well, I have to get good at going back and forth between Yeah,
What is 30 Celsius?
it's like
I'm an American,
90
so-
something.
Okay.
Yeah, it's hot. I think.
What's a kilometer?
Yeah, I think you get up to 40 and it's like over 100, but a kilometer is 0.16.
I know what a kilometer is.
But I mean, the one great thing
kilometer.
about the 996 that I really appreciate in the 986 Boxster and probably later cars too is there's that knob on the dash. If you turn to the left for 5 seconds, you instantly get kilometers. And
I never have to do that.
It works on the odometer too, which is kind of cool.
A little tip for listeners as well, since you're talking about heat, hot, and all that kind of stuff. So I had noticed my air conditioning wasn't working, and traveling out to West Virginia, I was like, that'd be nice for me to have air conditioning. Many people would be tempted to go to an auto parts store and grab the can of Freon and dump it into their car. Do not do that, especially because some of those cans have the fix-it seals or whatever, which
95% of all Freon has stop leak, and that is the worst thing you can put into your AC
so
system.
that's what I want to make sure I told everybody today, because with the heat, and you are tempted to do it because it's so easy. It's a can and you just dump it into your system, but that's the last thing you want to do. The right way to do it is to take it to a professional, which has an air conditioning machine, which they can evac hopefully what's left in your system, measure it, check if it holds the pressure, and then for a 996, especially 99, mine specifically, it takes like 1.9 pounds. It takes a very specific amount of Freon 134, and you don't want to put too much and you don't want to put too little. And then once you pump it in, you want to let it sit on the machine to see if it will hold. Obviously, if it doesn't hold, that means you have a leak. I had this done years ago when it had ran out, and the new Freon lasted me for a couple of years, and so far so good. Right now I pumped in 1.9 pounds, and going to West Virginia, it's nice and chilly.
Nice, because it's what is it going to be here in suburban Baltimore, DC? It's like 102, I think.
Is
tomorrow.
it?
Yeah, with like 90% humidity.
The heat index, in the hundreds today.
Yep, air conditioning's nice.
It is nice.
Now, Damon, I know you had a pretty successful weekend too.
Yeah, I autocrossed with SCCA. I just wasn't able to. The way things were supposed to work out for the weekend didn't work out for Friday and perhaps Sunday, so I wasn't planning on autocrossing. But I missed registration for Porsche Fest, but SCCA was still open. I had a good one. Quick time, I was within the top 20 for SCCA, which for me I'm very happy about. But just a public service announcement is when you're at an autocross, be careful. It's safe, but things can still happen, and you don't want to be the person who has to tow their car back, not willingly, but because you hit something. And you can go off course. We did have an incident. The driver was okay, but the car was damaged. So just a PSA on that. Still be careful in autocross.
It's rare. It happens, and
it's very rare. But
don't drive out of your means. I mean, honestly, I think in the past, where I did see something, it was because people were doing something that they kind of knew they shouldn't have, but accidents can happen. Anyways, before we get into our main topic, I want to introduce someone that's actually a company that's not new to PCA, long time to PCA, but new as PCA Insider's corporate sponsor, and that is Auto Atlanta. So thank you very much to the folks at Auto Atlanta. Are you chasing down Porsche parts that are impossible to find? Maybe restoring a 944 turbo, hunting for a piece for your 914, which I did. I was looking for rear brake calipers for a 914, which at the time was super rare.
Cayman R, aluminum doors,
Something
or
like
rear
that.
wing. That would be great.
Exactly. Well, either way, Auto Atlanta has you covered. They've been taking care of Porsches and only Porsche since 1978. Not only do they have every part for every Porsche, but they also ship internationally and offer expert tech advice to boot. So no matter what you need around the world, you need for your Porsche, you can find it online at autoatlanta.com. They have an all-star team of Porsche specialists who handle everything from complex mechanical repairs to full restorations, regular servicing, and they'll even detail your car. They also buy and sell pre-owned vehicles. So if there's a Porsche in your garage that needs a new home or a new lease on life, call them. They buy any Porsche. Whether you're rebuilding a classic or just need a single clip to finish a project, Auto Atlanta has you covered. Head to autoatlanta.com, find the Porsche parts that you need, no matter how rare you think they might are. And best off, you have a coupon code for 5% off. Just type in PCA 5, the number 5, OFF. PCA, the number 5, OFF. Again, thank you, Auto Atlanta, for becoming PCA Insider's newest corporate sponsor. Really appreciate your support. And let's get into our topic.
What's the number if you have a Porsche to sell? I want to tell them about a 914 that I know.
Shush.
72 914.
It's already a parts car.
With
That makes
with
it easy.
rarely used brake calipers
He
that were.
won't even know it's missing.
You're so funny. You're so funny. For those of you that don't know, I do have a 72 914 that is unfortunately not put together, and it's been sitting dormant since 2008. But I will. And looking at my little coffee cup here, this Signal Orange cup, my Signal Orange 914 will come back to life at some point. I just don't know what point that will be.
What, like on its own? Is it just gonna like resurrect itself?
Exactly.
No, he's going to have to call up Auto Atlanta.
Yeah, you know what? I need to maybe
When the rapture happens, we're going to see a 914 going up in the sky.
Or those perfect Fuchs 4-spoke wheels that have been sitting in his office.
I have everything
for 8 years.
They're replica Fuchs, too.
No,
those are
they're
real.
Mine are
Those are
real.
real.
They're-
You painted them to look like replicas.
They did because I like that way they look. I like
They're
how they
black instead of silver in the
look.
back.
Yeah,
Yeah,
because I wanted them to match my 911. So, yeah. All right.
I did the opposite. I bought a set of replicas and painted the background silver.
Not bad. That's smart.
All right. Let's talk about what we're watching at the Monterey auctions. RM Sotheby's is first up.
Yep, and a Lazante.
Whoa.
Yeah, I like this one.
Describe it for our listeners that are not watching.
So it looks like a narrow body. It is a narrow body, right? No, it's a turbo body.
I was going to say it looks flared.
Yeah, turbo body.
Turbo body.
In
Looks
mint
like-
green.
But the thing about this car is, so Porsche supplied Formula One engines to McLaren. They were known as the Tag Turbo engines, 1.5 liter engines, and they win the championship. It's a very famous Formula One car and engine. But evidently they had some like leftover engines, and they were at I think Rennsport 6, 5
I
or
remember.
6.
I remember, yeah.
They had a booth
The white
along
one?
Bender Row, yeah.
The white one, yeah.
And they crammed this engine into the engine bay of a turbo.
Right. And it's not the engine. It's intercoolers or, I mean, what's.
It's not a big engine. It's
No.
like a
No,
one-
but the
one-
No, but
ancillaries are huge.
But the shape of it isn't
Yeah.
a flat
No.
engine. And I don't think it's a flat engine. I think it's a V, isn't it? Anyways, it's
Yeah, I
It's a
believe it's a
six-cylinder,
V6.
1.6 V6.
but what an awesome car to have.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, Porsche never built this, but this company did, and you want to talk about winning cars and coffee, this would do it.
Yeah.
So is this a company that specializes in taking these motors and converting these cars, or was this car made in that period?
No, I have to believe they did it recently.
Oh,
Yeah, it's a recent thing. I think the first Lazantes were, I remember seeing them online that they were going to build this like 5 years ago. So they've been around a little bit now. And there's
Yeah.
some videos on YouTube of people driving them, actually.
Is there a shot of the tack in this car?
I'll try and find it.
So it's a beautiful mint green with gold. Looks like speed
Black
line.
watch tartan seats.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would.
Beautiful car.
It's there you go. It's a little bit.
9,000 RPM.
Yeah, that's.
Wow.
Oh my God, there you go. You're right.
Yeah.
10,000 RPM attack and
Yeah,
9,000.
9,000 RPM red line. That's cool.
Wow.
That-
I would
like I
love to
said-
hear what one of those sounds like at full tilt.
I was just thinking the same thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't remember them running it at Rennsport, but that was a big talk.
Yeah.
510 horsepower, 200 mile an hour.
Out of
capabilities.
1.5 liters. Doesn't that strike you, though, as not that 9,000 RPM is a low red line, but if you had asked me to guess what it is, I would have guessed 11.
I would think 9 was like the idle speed.
Yeah.
Might have been on the Formula One car.
Yeah.
Obviously, these are, I think, detuned.
Yeah.
And this car is estimated to go for how much? 1.8 to 2.1 million dollars.
Yeah, but you can really say my car has a Formula One engine, not a Formula One derived engine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, is it too late to start a GoFundMe?
So that is Singer territory,
Yes.
right?
Yeah, all the big boys.
Wow. I won't ask the question because everyone's gonna say, "Would you take one of those, or would you take a Singer?"
Honestly, I would have to drive one, just to see what it's like. And
Yeah.
it's
Because the engine obviously is special, but you look at the interior, it's nice, but it's not to the level
No,
of detail of
No,
a
I
Singer,
think this
right?
is you are paying for the F1
for the F1
cred.
heritage.
Yeah.
F1
that's-
Porsche heritage.
Right,
Yeah.
right. That is 100% what you're paying for here.
Yeah, it's got a unique color, but body and everything looks very
You're
stock.
paying for
I
the
mean,
engine.
you look
Yeah,
at the
that's-
rear spoiler, how much you had to jack that up to fit everything in there with the intercoolers.
Yeah.
Yeah. And those intercoolers are like the size of a mini fridge. Each, I mean, they're amazing.
The roof wheels,
Like
I
bigger
love
than a
how
mini fridge.
I love how they look.
Yeah, I love this car.
I would love those wheels on my Turbo Look, but unfortunately, I don't have enough power to spin them.
That would be the perfect car to have during Monterey Car Week.
It really would.
That one?
Yeah.
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 All right, what else have we
Next.
got? Next, please. A 1968 911. Oh, this is like an icon car. I mean, I also see the icon price.
Right. But hear me out, because Manny and I talked about this car a lot beforehand. 2.5 to 3 million is, I think, I shudder to call any $2.5 million car reasonable. But if you think about what a 2.7 RS lightweight costs, which is probably close to 2 million these days, there are 20 of these. I mean, this is, it's Ferdinand.
This is the beginning.
Yeah, this is it. This is ground zero for.
Everything that followed the RSs.
Yeah, I mean, this is the ultimate short wheelbase 911. It's a 906 derived 2-liter, 210 horsepower engine. All of the shell itself is steel, but everything else that's movable is fiberglass.
And I love the engine shot where it shows redundancy, where
Yeah.
they have
Oh, yeah.
two of everything.
Two coils, yeah.
In case something fails, you just slide over and use the second set. Now, I'm going to say something that maybe people won't take it the wrong way, but I believe this car is for a true enthusiast, because I think the masses
Oh yeah,
would not appreciate how special.
no,
this
the
car is.
posers aren't going to care about this.
Yeah.
But I mean, I'm bad at the maths, but a quick and dirty, power to weight ratio. If this is 1,700 pounds with 210 horsepower, aren't we talking like 992.2 Carrera S power to weight? I mean, over 400 horsepower for a car that weighs 3,400 pounds or something like that. I mean, these things are nuts. I was fortunate enough to have, I think, Cam Ingram take me around Laguna Seca in, I guess, the Ingram Collection's 911R at Rennsport in 2018, and just absolutely amazing. The most visceral thing you can possibly imagine. Every vibration, every noise, is basically transmitted, through the body shell, up through the seats, and through your central nervous system. Just an amazing car. 1,700 pounds.
Yeah.
This has to be for someone who's collecting these type of thoroughbreds.
Yeah.
I don't think it's between this and a Singer
No.
or even a Roof. It's definitely someone like the RS collection. I'm sure he has to be thinking about a car like this because he didn't have a 911R.
Yeah, but I mean, this is a must-have car, right? For any serious Porsche collector, I think we can all
What's
agree on
interesting
that.
is in the photography of this car, like, again, selling a car that's $2.5 to $3 million, like the car shows patina, shows some wear, shows some dirt, shows some wheels that are like, not perfect. It doesn't look like a perfect car. And to me, I think that adds to its authenticity.
Yeah, that's what you want. But I mean, they were so obsessive about taking the weight out of this car. I mean, even the vents in front, all the lights, the marker lights, the tail lights are all different. Looks the auction description said they grabbed things out of the NSU and the VW parts bin.
Is this
just
the one
would
that
weigh, save a few grams.
Hey, Damon, can you scroll down the description? I know I wanted to. Is this the one that Jurgen Barth helped restore? I looked at so many of these in the past couple of days that I don't know.
I just searched his name, Barth, and it didn't come up
No.
in the page.
And you said how many examples? 20
I
examples?
think 20. They were going to try, from what I understand, they were going to try and finagle the car essentially as a 911S derivative. FIA basically said, no, this is not a warmed over 911S.
It did really well in rallies.
Yeah, you've got to build, like 500 of them for homologation, and the marketing department, as they said later with the 27 RS, is like, there's no way there's a market for that many cars, and so they just built 20.
Wow.
I have a feeling, honestly, given the response to the 27 RS just 6 years later, that if they had built the 500 cars, they would have been able to sell them. But they didn't.
Wow.
But yeah, that's going to be. You don't see 911Rs
No.
come up. The original 911R come up for sale very often.
Right. This is a crown jewel. I mean, this is, let's face it, there were like 16 or 19 more Ferrari 250 GTOs than this car. So
Now, why I like going to Monterey and going to the auctions and seeing this car is because you always have that one guy that's going to tell you what is wrong with this car. And I mean, I appreciate that guy because my eyes are like, oh my God, this is beautiful. And if the 6 numbers match on the lottery, I'm going to bid on it. But there's always someone will say, and it's not just Porsche.
Right.
Remember when they had the Ferrari GTO a couple years ago?
yeah,
That was a big deal.
Oh, yeah.
I stood next to somebody and he started saying
learn a lot.
everything that was wrong and about how it was built from another car and this, that, the other. And, it was incredible.
Somebody's going to go up to the car and say, well, on the Bosch Sport coils, that shade of blue that they are
right.
is for the 1969 version of the Bosch Sport
But
coil.
see, I love those people.
Yeah.
I learned so much from stuff that I would have never known. And for a car like this,
Well, I mean, assuming they're right and they're not just troll. Yeah, absolutely.
But usually they know their stuff.
Right.
All right. The next car, is it one that I might be able to afford? No.
Yes.
Yes? Oh, I can. It's a Junior, a 936 Junior.
What's
Just
with
let-
all
just-
the junior cars?
Just
this
let me
year at
be there.
Monterey?
Let me be there when you bring this home to your wife.
But there's this car and then there's that Speedster.
Yeah. So this car I like, and once again, if I was in that income back bracket, to spend money on a car like this, of a nice used Boxster, Porsche actually built this 936 Junior, or had it built, and they sold it for their dealers. And of course, this one was done to celebrate the 936 that won Le Mans, the one that came out of the museum, the Jules car.
Yeah.
And would win in '81, I believe.
That's so cool. So it's a half-size version of the real car.
Is that what it said?
Essentially a go-kart.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's but it's one that the factory authorized.
It's
and
beautiful.
I would lose weight just like a fixing the
Oh, my
fitness
God.
thing.
And if your hero's name's on the side of it, too.
Yes, right.
so.
Derek Bell and Jackie X. Back
15
when
to 25.
Le Mans only had 2 drivers.
Wow.
That would be fun.
That car really looks the business, too. I mean, can you imagine being the underprivileged child who was gifted this? I mean,
This is the ultimate mom and dad are divorcing, but we have something for you.
To get you through these turbulent times. Here's- All right, the last one from RM, we have, a
Yes.
CTR, a 1989 roof CTR.
So it's interesting. You have to search under roof because you search under Porsche, this car doesn't come up.
Oh.
So I learned that a couple of years ago.
This is the ultimate contrarian car. I love this, but you're so used to seeing it in yellow, seeing it in like Malaga or whatever this color is. It's pretty striking.
I wish we would have done this. The timing would have been different. Where when we interviewed Alois Roof for the podcast, because this, according to this is his previous used as Alois Roof's personal car. They asked him about this car and was anything done to it because he was going to be using it.
I'm noticing the bright trim around the windows.
I was going to say the same thing.
Yeah.
That's pretty interesting. It looks good.
Looks like a 78 SC trim.
Yeah, exactly. Well, here's a geeky question. I don't know the answer to this. Somebody does. The yellow, the Yellowbird, the yellow CTRs, is that speed yellow or is that a special roof yellow? What's the...
Oh.
I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't know either.
I would guess it's some kind of a special roof yellow, but it looks like speed to me, but I don't know.
There's a great shot right there. You can see the intercoolers where he stuck them. That's I've never seen the one in red.
Yeah.
When they call it the Redbird. That's pretty cool.
So my friends, we often talk about sports cars and colors, and when there's a certain color that I don't feel is really a sports car color, I typically call it a sedan color. And I know I don't mean to be disrespectful, but to see a roof in to me, what looks like a sedan color, it's not as exciting. I know it's a very valuable car.
Hate mail goes.
I know, hate mail.
Yeah, I
but
mean,
it's-
that is not a Camry color. That is not like, Camry
I think
metallic
it's called
gold.
Bordeaux red.
Bordeaux red.
Yeah.
Bordeaux red. It is a pretty color, but I mean, honestly, if you had the
The
opportunity
sheer
to own,
tastefulness of that color is just playing havoc with Vu right now.
it's just it's very hard for me to apply a sedan color to a sports car.
A sedan
I
color.
don't know, sedan color. I mean, honestly,
Again, not to be disrespectful, and I know the car is probably worth how many millions? Like 3 million, 4
Well,
million?
no, this is the one that these sold for $7 million. What's it, Damon?
4.5 to
4.5
5
to
is what
5.
it's estimated.
But the CTR one is the one that sold at
20.
at Amelia. No, didn't they go for $7 million, Damon? Do you remember?
Well, 5 million, 7 million. It's. I don't think it was 7. I thought it was like 4 or 5. But
Oh, I
like,
can't remember.
who's counting at that point?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Anyways,
I think we're going to.
you like that color? You like the
I think
Bordeaux
it
red
was-
on a CTR?
I just like. I'm a contrarian. I mean, I just
$6
like
million it went for it, Amelia.
seeing something other than the usual. I mean, is what I would have. And it's it's like you could see
The fact
Elvis
that you're
roof.
taking so much time to explain it throws me off. So
Because you're the guy that walks up to the car and go, I think it's a sedan color.
I
Go tell the new owner.
Oh no, please! I'm not trying to be disrespectful. I'm just saying personally with colors. Like I like primary colors on, and non-metallics. I do not. Yeah. So, anyways, I'm gonna move on.
last I
Let's-
looked, red was but
Well, this is Bordeaux red. It's almost burgundy. All right, let's move to Gooding and Company. This is a car that I think everybody can agree that it is so sweet.
So
And
we're
this is-
going to try to get to Gooding.
it'd be sweeter and fancy
But
yellow.
Gooding is the one. Is Gooding the one at Pebble Beach? I think so.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm not.
Oh, you
aware
mean
of all
the
that.
auction location
Pebble
itself?
Beach auctions here.
But I think I think it's the one at Pebble Beach.
at
So
Pebble Beach, yeah.
I think it may be a Wednesday morning type thing.
So we're looking at a silver Carrera GT and 05 model, of course, estimated between 1.2 to 1.5.
Well, I mean, the interesting thing here is, these cars were 5 to 750 all day long for kind of a long time, and then they doubled and came close to tripling in price. If this car does this pre-sale estimate, I mean, I think that's a pretty good signal to us that like the rest of the market, which is cooling down, the CGT market is kind of finding its ceiling. But
I like how it says the factory recall was done, listed on there. That's one of the top 5 things about it. And that it comes with luggage.
tires?
No, luggage.
oh, okay, fitted luggage.
Yeah, there's
Whoa,
Yeah.
is there a picture of that? I don't think I've ever seen that.
Yeah, what a beautiful car.
I saw it when that white collection went for auction. He had every piece of fitted luggage for every car
Yeah,
imaginable.
yeah, that's cool.
I can't think of a better sounding exhaust than the exhaust of a Carrera GT.
Does anybody have any idea? And again, $500 to $750,000 is not inexpensive for any car. But 6 years ago or whatever, we could have all been sitting around this table saying these cars are just too cheap. Why were they comparatively reasonable for so long?
When we were at St. Charles Parade, I remember a gentleman brought Randy, brought his Carrera GT, and he's super cool about letting people sit in it, experience kids climb all over it. But at that time, I remember it was like $300,000 for a Carrera GT.
Right.
And he was using. I'm pretty sure he still has it. But yeah, I mean,
But part of
hindsight's 2020.
Yeah, but I mean, you didn't even have to have, you didn't have to be Nostradamus to figure out these were going to be $1 million cars probably sooner rather than later.
I don't think no, but that you would have one.
Yeah.
Well,
right.
if I were Lick, I can guarantee.
Because at the time, a nice 2,500 square foot house was probably $300,000. So it's like, do you buy a car that may or may not appreciate, or do you buy a house? I mean, that's yeah.
I don't know. My house has appreciated nicely in the last little while, but these cars have tripled.
These were the cars that I remember hearing. What really shocked everyone was the maintenance costs. They were back then. It was like a $25,000 clutch, and I've heard now it's up to like $40,000 or $50,000 for the clutch.
Okay,
or
that'll keep mortals out of a car.
Yeah, well, that's the kind of thing that would make sure the clutch is done, make sure this is done, make sure that's done, and so
I figured there had to be some reason.
There was no argument that it was a collectible car and it sounded great and everything, but.
Or the underbody panels that you crack by going up a curb is $20,000, right? You hear stuff like that.
Yeah. And this is up before the whole Paul Walker thing
Yeah.
happened. It was just it was an
what a
expensive
beautiful
car. And I remember when I drove the one that belonged to a member, I told him no, because I said, I heard how much these clutches cost. And he said, I just got to replace them. Like, then more the reason.
Yeah.
I don't want to be that guy that messes up your brand new clutch.
I ended up driving it, but
With the David Piper.
So how much are they estimating this car? And at no reserve. Whew.
yeah.
$1.2 to $1.5 million, no reserve. Good luck to
From
the bidders.
Bethel collection.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think we'll have a Vu Gwyn collection auction one day.
It wouldn't be at Pebble Beach. It might be out of Columbia, Maryland. All right, next ride we've got at Gooding is 964. Again, I think this is a car that that to a enthusiast really knows about it, but to the masses, they would probably walk by it.
That's a good point. This is the 67 911R of 964s.
Yep,
I mean, if you walk by this car, it's got regular design 90 wheels, and it looks
not regular.
well to the
they're magnesium and they're wider,
right? But to the uninitiated, without somebody walking up and doing like a metallurgy test to them, they look like the same D90.
I can tell you from Bob Miller had a black one.
Yeah.
And he would bring it to Cars and Coffee. No one would stop to look at it. It looked like a stripped down.
They would or would not?
No, it would not.
Yeah, right.
I would stop them and say, "Do you realize this is probably the rarest Porsche you'll ever see in your life?"
Okay, so talk a little bit about this. Is a seam-welded tub. 20 of these again? Very
like
rare
the R
car.
20.
So I always tell people you got to go back to the era of the early '90s when Porsche is barely hanging on. They're on their last breath. And they're doing anything to generate income. They're building Mercedes. They're building Audis. They're doing anything for money. And Kerry Morse, who's a famous Porsche collector and
in the U.S.
a racer, and he suggests taking some of the 959 leftover parts and building a rally car based off the 964 C4.
Yeah. So this is like the Paris Dakar 959, 953.
Just a regular 959.
All-wheel drive.
They had a lot of the parts left over for the all-wheel drive system, and converting the 964 system to that, and making a rally series based on these cars. The customer racing department that was run by Jürgen Barth was one of the few departments that was actually very profitable for Porsche. So they have no problem greenlighting this project, and they started building it. But it was so done by hand, the conversion, that midway through, they get an order for 962s for a series in Japan. So I think they put this on hold for 4 or 5 months while they build these 962s, and then they go back to finishing them. 21, I think, 22 maybe, built in total. There was never a series. It was just went straight into collector's hands. I wouldn't call it a daily driver by any sense of the imagination. I never got to drive the one Bob had. That's one of my regrets. We just never had time or planned it out. But from what Bob told me driving it, it was very short-geared. It was very loud, a very rough ride. But it was an incredible car. It was something that, once again, any serious Porsche collection needs to have this car in it.
Wow.
All right, another kind of
And this
classic,
one only
if
has
you know,
500 miles on it.
500 miles.
Wow.
Yeah. No, 500 kilometers. So it's got like
500.
350 miles.
Oh.
Crazy.
I remember the first one I saw was at a Concours. Was invited to, I think, the Oregon region 50th anniversary, and they were having a car show that morning. And I see one of these come in, and my first thought was it was a replica or tribute car. And as he started parking, I was like, wow, this is a tribute. This guy's really gone all out on this tribute. So when he got out of the car, I'm like, I don't mean to insult you, but I got to ask you, is this real? And he says, oh, yeah, it's a real one. And I told him right then, I said, it's a shame because no one's going to know what this is. And no one did.
Yeah.
And people just walked by it because they thought it was just a 964.
Just wild. I mean, the details are cool. The mirrors. I haven't seen the tail. What tail does the car have? I haven't seen it from the rear.
It's all
fiberglass.
Fiberglass. Yeah. And
Yeah.
for whatever reason, the headlight rings are black. They're not body color.
Yeah.
The car looks like a panda. It's just a weird touch. But I mean, I'm just wondering why they did that.
And we never, I think Bob was able to get a hold of Jurgen. We got a lot of information from Jurgen when we wrote the article for Panorama.
Oh God!
We never asked him
Maybe
about
the crazy thing is, I think those rings come in like black primer.
But
and
that's how
maybe
you get
like
H4s.
Yeah, so I'm thinking maybe that's what those are, and they just wanted to save like the half a gram of weight that white paint would. That's
Every gram counts.
I know that's crazy though. If that's it,
Yeah.
hats off to them because that's nuts.
All right. And how much was that estimated for? $750 to $1 million. Well, comparing to the recent cars we've been talking about, that seems like it's reasonable.
Again, I think the fact that this car, unless I think that hurts it. It's not dramatic looking, but boy,
it's just
$750 to $1 million for a car that
somebody
rare.
is completing or
Yeah.
building a collection.
Yeah. Wow.
Do we know where this car came from? I mean, this isn't like an ex-white collection car, is it?
Don't know.
I mean,
I didn't see that listed. No.
kind of fits that MO, like no miles. And
But they were all white except
That's
for,
true.
I think,
yeah,
a black one and maybe a red one.
yeah.
The red one we had at the collection in Arizona.
Okay, so
Yep.
the rest were white.
Yep. All right, moving over to Broad Arrow auctions. Oh, we talked about 914s earlier. Let's check out this 914 in a very
This is under the I think I can buy it
Yeah.
category after seeing all these other cars.
in bright green.
Is it Willow? This is
Willow
how you
green.
never, ever, ever see these cars in the U.S.
Wow.
You've got, not even the hint of an appearance group. The sail panels are body color. The bumper is body color. There are no fog lights. That is, I love it. But it's got the what are
But
those?
that's not how it would have come from the factory, though, right?
I think so. Yeah, I think
came
if you
like that?
if you ordered
Oh,
for
really?
an early 914, if you ordered no options, I think that's what you got. But those are what is Pendrini? What's that style of alloy?
That's Pedrini.
Yeah, Pedrini wheels instead of Steelies.
So it's a 71 914, estimated between 35 to 45, offered without reserve. Willow green, and yeah, I don't think I've ever seen green bumpers
So if
before.
you look at the description,
I love this
it
car. I think
says
it's great.
finish in its original first coat. So does that mean original paint?
That's
would
what
think
it
so,
says
yeah.
to me. Yeah,
Yeah.
So why don't they just say original paint?
Oh no.
I don't know. It's interesting though because I think later, Manny, you guys know more about 914s than I do. I think if you got a base car, you got flat black bumpers instead of chrome. But I think the early ones you got body color, and you never see them this way.
Wow, look at the interior. Super nice brown interior, cocoa mats.
What's missing from the interior?
There's no footrest.
31,000 miles. All of the look at that. Spare tire.
That's beautiful.
You can go
Full
there.
size.
You can go there and buy this and sell your car, and you have one all done up.
All done in original paint.
That's right. Look at that.
Wow.
You can be like that.
That car is
Snap of the
absolutely
fingers.
gorgeous. I mean, is
I'm
it
not-
just me?
I'm not an expert. Something's telling me this has had a repaint.
It says original. It says
Well, it says
you-
if you read this,
Yeah, like
it looks too good though.
exactly.
but you've seen my car.
No, your car looks like it's original paint. It's got nicks and stuff.
But does it look like that underneath?
Your paint doesn't look
carpets
that
and everything?
glossy.
Yeah.
It does. It's
Does
like
it?
fully painted, like
Oh, yeah.
glossy.
Oh, yeah.
and
yeah,
nice.
yeah. I
Okay.
mean, they they were finished.
It's like
to
on a lot of
decent standard.
911s. Watching
So
some of
they
Nathan
painted all
Burr's
that.
stuff.
They painted all that before they put the car together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
No, I mean that looks good. What's the pre-sale estimate again?
35, 45?
That strikes me as
Reasonable.
reasonable.
If you're looking at a 914, I mean it's a 71,
Yeah.
So
not a 73,
1.7.
but it's still. I mean, at this point, you're looking for a car that doesn't have obviously rust. The more original it is, the better.
You're going to spend close to that restoring a car.
You can spend more than that. I mean, this
Oh,
car at 35 to 45 is a screaming deal.
Dang it.
Has
Yeah.
original ride height.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
Oh, and it's
it looks good. And it's so funny because, I mean, it's striking because you never see them this way with, no vinyl on the sail panels and body colored bumpers, no fog lights. It looks really good to me. I like it.
All right, let's move on before I get attached to it.
Too late. That ship has
Oh,
sailed.
next one. Ooh, 356B cab.
No, I think I
Yeah,
picked
it's a
this,
Roadster.
and I picked
Roadster.
another car that is roughly the same price. So one's original, one's heavily modified. The twin grill has its own legion of fans, and I can never pronounce this. How do you pronounce
The
it?
Belgian coach builder. I don't know. It's D and comma IETEREN.
Take a stab at it.
Dieteron or something.
Dieteron. 1962 Porsche 356B 1600 Super Dieteron
Twin grill
Twin
Roadster.
Grill Roadster. What a beautiful car. So usually you see the other badge on the front fender. This is the unique badge.
Yeah, this is the Belgian
Yeah.
one. Yeah.
You get
It's
the feel of a speedster, but all the comfort of a B.
Yeah. Very nice. And that is estimate how much again?
I think close to 400.
450 to
Oh,
550.
more than that.
Wow.
Yeah. So-
That's like not a Carrera motor. That is a
That's really nice.
Push
A
rod.
speedster
That's a-
money.
wow.
So,
Yeah.
and I thought about that, isn't it? But show the next one, Damon. I think it should be the Emory. But, nope, not the Emory. There we go. There's the Emory.
So here we
So
have
here
a
we have-
64 356C Emory Outlaw.
You know which one's
Cabriolet.
going to drive better.
Oh, that's the
Yeah.
question.
Yeah.
Do you get an original that's going to drive like it was in the
Depends
early
on what you want.
60s, or do you get the Emory, which you, like you said, it's going to drive
Yeah, it's gonna
10
be
times better,
yeah.
more power.
Well,
Wouldn't
let's-
even surprise me if it had AC on it.
All right, let's do a quick poll of the table. The ruby red or whatever the red is original or this Emory Outlaw?
Well, for
That would be a Sophie's
Man.
choice big time.
Yeah.
Because the Emory is such a well-known brand.
Yeah.
That,
And you
uh,
they hardly ever do open
When you
cars.
see a modified car like that, the first question they're going to ask is it an Emory? And be able to say yes, it is.
Yeah.
I think is pretty awesome.
I would do the Emory. The only question I have with that is I wish they could have figured out a way to hide the top. You know,
Oh, I like the
that's-
top.
You like it?
Yeah. So what I
Alright.
like, my answer would be the Emory. As much as I love the other one, but if I had to choose between the two, what I especially love about this one is if this was a Emory Speedster versus the other car, I probably would have taken the other car. But because this is a Cabriolet, for me, it doesn't look like when it's a Speedster. I think a lot of people say, "Is that a kit car?"
Yeah.
But when you see a B cab Roadster, you don't think. To me, people don't think kit car. So
Right.
you get the Emory, you get the people know it's a real car, so to
Get
speak.
the slate with red.
I need to
that's a
drive
good
an
car.
Emory because then it may not be Sophie's choice anymore. Maybe
I'll
an
bet
easy
it. I'll bet it
decision.
drives great.
Drives great,
Yeah, I
fast,
bet it does.
stops
I would
well.
imagine,
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
All right. Next, what do we have?
We
a
skipped over
Turbo
the
S.
roof. You
Oh,
want
the
to start
roof.
with this
yeah.
one?
1998 roof CTR2 Sport in black, and this thing looks mean. It's on a mission with aggressive arrow,
Now-
big wing.
To Rob's point about the Curry GT, this is even more punctuated with the roof, because I remember seeing one of these race in club racing, a yellow one. He would bring it, and I thought to myself, back then they weren't $3 million cars. They were rare because of production, but they certainly were. It was no big deal to see him racing this in GT1.
Well, this is 2 Carrera GTs, money-wise. You could have like a GT Silver and a fancy yellow Carrera GT
I feel
or
like
this.
the value of roofs have just exploded.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I don't know if that's actually thanks to Singer and
I think that-
Gunther Works and
Yeah.
and,
Oh, that green interior. Oh, it's to
and
die
look
for.
at the turbo boost knob.
It's
Oh, that's crazy. It's like black with what looks like nephrite green.
Yeah.
Yeah.
that's
That's
gorgeous.
sick. I love it.
Carbon door panels. So unique.
Wow.
All right, we got to keep moving along here. What's up next? We have a 97 Turbo S. Beautiful car, going for how much? Estimates?
650 to 750. Now, these cars, when the market was super hot, seemed to be headed for, 7 figures. And the market's obviously cooled down. How long that's going to last is anybody's guess. But, if the catalog is accurate, I think they said they sent 183 of these cars to North America.
Mm-hmm.
That is legit rare. And it looks phenomenal in speed yellow. It's 440 horsepower, which in the 90s was crazy.
And this was the end of the run.
This is the end of the run of air-cooled turbos.
back when the S's used to be the end, not the beginning
Yeah.
of the run.
Yeah.
And going back the same thing as roof. I remember somebody showing up at Sebring with the car stripped out and a roll cage welded in and racing a brand new 993 Turbo S.
Yeah.
Mainly because the Turbo S has those air inlets in the rear quarter panel. I hope to God he was able to save everything and convert it back to a street car.
Oh, and this car's got 4,000 miles on it.
Yeah.
So this car, what was the estimate again?
650 to 750.
So
yeah.
if we took the S off the end of that, what would that car be?
400, I think I saw them in here.
Less than half, I think.
Half the price?
Yeah, I think so.
So would you spend double the money of a turbo so that you could have that S?
Well,
If I had the money for yeah. In speed yellow.
everybody's going to be asking you if it's an S.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Double the money.
183 of them.
Yeah. I wish
You're thinking-
I wish I could think in that at that level, but it's just
You're thinking the $5 table at blackjack.
I know.
This is the $100 table.
I can't help it. All right, next car, please. Ooh, 72 911T 2.4 coupe, sold without reserve, and not even an estimate. Oh, and we've moved to Bonhams.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. This could go one of several ways. And the reason I picked this car is it's kind of an odd duck. This is a Euro 72 T, which means it's got Solexes instead of MFI, which is kind of strange. It's spec'd really weird. I don't know if this was the way that it came, but it's got a sport seat on the driver's side and a comfort seat on the passenger side.
Well, that's
It's
kind of cool.
light yellow, cool color, first-year cookie cutters. Really good-looking car, but I mean, occasionally, and it's ironic given the fact that Bonhams does their auction at Quail Lodge, bargains will sneak out of there, and this is a no-reserve car. So, I see this going one of three ways. Somebody could get, it could be just a little bit off in person, and, it's Bonhams. I think they auction on Thursday. So it could, high 40s, low to mid 50s would be a phenomenal deal on the car. Market is probably closer to 70 for it, right? But if you get two people in the room who basically are looking at one of the cheapest Porsches you're going to be able to buy anywhere on the Monterey Peninsula in a couple of weeks, and it's this beautiful yellow color, maybe it gets bid up to closer to 100. I don't know.
It's a 72, which has the right side oil filler in it.
But how come this one doesn't?
It doesn't?
Yeah,
He's right.
look at the fender. unless the pictures are reversed. Look at that. No oil filler on the rear.
That is really strange.
So how's that a 72?
I wonder if this is a car that maybe back in the 80s was damaged.
This could be the reason.
Rob
This could,
just said that.
no, this is really interesting because this could be the thing that everybody keys in on, and this could be the reason why the car sells for 45 grand or something.
And I'd be okay with it.
Yeah,
I would be okay with it if that car went for 45,
Unless it's
50.
a 73 pre-production model.
So
well,
if it's a
yeah, this
72
is where you want that guy who knows everything, who's who comes in and says, well, this was one of the last 72s. They'd already gotten the complaints about, who knows, or it could just be a car that was popped really hard on the
engine
passenger side
compartment
quarter.
should have the oil filler.
Yeah.
I was going to say, does it have the oil tank in front of the wheel? Which is, the opening is
Go to
what
more
people
pictures.
look on.
Well,
But
the oil tank's always in front of the wheel.
well, no, I'm pretty sure they moved it for 72. That's why they have to fill it in a different area.
I think he's right, actually. But
Yeah,
is there an
like
engine
it was better
compartment
weight
shot?
distribution.
Go
for
to the engine
72.
Yeah.
compartment. Anyways, while you're looking that up, it's a cool looking car. I think it's like your fast ticket.
There it is.
There's the oil tank.
Yeah, so I wonder if it has a later or earlier oil tank and setup, and it's a 72. The specialness of a 72 is only in the name.
Right. So maybe this is some kind of a Frankenstein. But I mean, in looking at the engine compartment, the paint in there looks like light yellow. The paint on the outside of the car is a little bit brighter, a little bit more lemony than light yellow. So maybe this is just a car with a lot of question marks.
I'm going to hook on that for a second, because what I was talking about with that 914, with the under the carpet sprayed so well, is one of the things Nathan Mers in his videos has said is that in the trunk, in the rear deck area, underneath things, they painted it, but they didn't pay a lot of attention
Yeah,
when
quality,
they painted it.
quality's
The quality and the amount of paint used is different. So to me, that almost looks like it's how it should look, because it's not shiny.
Well,
It's got the texture.
It's also a
slightly
lot
different
dirtier
color.
at a 911 because you've
Yeah.
got the engine there and everything else. And I
Yeah.
think they went heavy on the texturized paint in the engine compartment of a 911. But to me, just the colors are a little bit off, and it looks like with the foil decals, like there was some masking that went on there. So I mean, this could be a car with a lot of question marks at Bonham's on a Thursday. So somebody could
Score a
yeah. Who knows?
Someone could run that serial number and see if it is truly a 72.
But I would love for somebody listening to the podcast to go look at the car and tell us what the deal is with it.
That's like your fast ticket to our group, right? I mean, that's like an R group car.
It's got to be more modified.
Even more modified than that?
Yeah. I just said stock.
That looks pretty good to me.
It's a good starting point,
Probably
though.
our group, they got to be like sport purpose cars. They have the sport purpose stuff on them.
Yeah. All right. And last one we have is our friends at Mecum. And, beautiful GT3 RS 996 GT3 RS, which never made it to the U.S. And this one's estimated at 240 to 250, white with the red stripe and red wheels. I want those wheels.
All right, I'm going to go out on I think these cars are a screaming deal. They're kind of the last of the forbidden fruits. After this car, the U.S. and Canada pretty much got all the really good stuff. This was kind of the end of us being denied the really great stuff. I drove one of these a couple of years ago, and one of absolutely maybe the best water-cooled 911 I've ever driven. What a fantastic car for $240,000.
Wow. Beautiful
And it
car.
will get as much looks as a GT 997 4.0 GT3 RS.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it also had, if I recall, the plastic rear window.
Yes.
They were like one of the reasons why it would come to the U.S.
Yeah.
among other.
And the
lists of
aero
things,
was very different from, this is night and day to, the 996 GT3 that we got.
Really
one,
cool.
one of 160 some
Yeah.
cars.
something like
I
that.
think this was essentially the cup car with the nice interior. It was when we did the video. I think this was the one that we compared it to, the differences, and
Man.
it's very, very similar.
Good luck to whoever bids on that one.
Yeah.
And it came only in red and white, and I believe blue and white.
Yeah.
Blue and white, yeah.
I don't know. So if it does, three ways, 70 grand each.
I don't know. It's like being at Mecum sometimes can be in favor of the bidders because the audience at Mecum is general purchasers, not just all Porsche people or not all, specifically European.
Yeah, and the
purchasers.
muscle car people with, the end of Russo and Steele in Monterey, this is where the muscle car people are going to be.
Should be interesting. See how
yeah,
it
but I
does.
mean, they do well. They've done well with
Yeah.
Porsches in
Well,
the
people
past.
that-
And that's the kind of car, too, you're going to make a directed purchase mission to Mecum if you
Correct.
want that car.
Exactly.
You are going to
Yeah.
be there.
Yeah, you know that car's available. You're going to go wherever it is for sale.
Yeah. And you should go to where this car is because it's great.
Yeah. All right. Well, I want to remind everyone to be sure to head over to PCA.org to sign up for PCA's newsletters, performance news, e-brake news, and Mark Fresh news, all free. I know we are running at the top of the hour, so we're going to quickly go through some Porsche news. And Manny, you want to start with motorsports, but this one has to do with electric motorsports.
Yes, Porsche wrapped up their fourth championship in the Formula E. So congratulations to them, and in a news-filled of financial woes for Porsche, this is a nice bright spot that their program that they announced in 2017 they would be joining has since then won 4 world championships. So
There you go.
pretty impressive.
Very nice. Speaking of woes, and probably the most repetitive statements I've seen on my Facebook feed has to do with this next topic of the business model isn't working anymore. I can't tell you how many times I've seen that headline.
Well, any publicity is good publicity.
I don't know
or
about
I don't
that.
know.
I don't know about that.
That kind of
I
tests
think
that theory.
I think this is Oliver Bloom. I think it's a couple reasons why they wanted this out. They're also, from what I read, the labor negotiations are coming up with the labor union. So,
Oh man.
what a better way to go to the bargaining table than to say, we're not making money anymore. We can't do all this stuff that we used to do before. You gotta give in some. So
Yeah, and people that are stateside might not be able to understand this because if they're looking for a GT3 or 911 and they're going to their dealerships, it's like they can't get an allocation. There's no cars available, and like the U.S. market is still doing very well. They've had record sales this first half of the year, but we're not the entire story for Porsche, right? Obviously, the drop in
Well, we're kind of getting to be the entire story.
Well,
again with
but
the
it's-
Chinese market falling
Yeah,
off a cliff.
Well, if you look at, and Damon has up on the screen here, everyone's showing the doom and gloom, which the Chinese market is doom and gloom. It's really brought them down as a serious issue.
Except for Skoda, as you were telling me.
Yes. Skoda, which when I was talking to Vu about the Skoda, turns out, which is our old friend Klaus Delmer, who is
Way
our
to go,
CEO.
Klaus.
Yes. Former CEO of Porsche Cars North America. Now he has Skoda. They actually had the most profitable quarter for the Volkswagen, the VAG. So it's a bright spot.
How do they do that, though?
Well,
they've got Volkswagen, they've got Skoda, and Seat.
Was it Vu that said, somebody
not-
said, I wonder if they're
Not in the market.
heavy into the EV market in China.
Yeah.
And I thought,
But they're also not focusing. They don't sell anything in the U.S. They're not focusing on China. They're focusing
Yeah, so-
on European sales,
Which
and
saved them.
tailoring their cars to
So,
Europeans.
and going back to the headlines, North America, 10% increase in the first half of 2025. China, 28% down again, and this has been going on for like a couple of years. So that's what gives them the big hurt and the heartburn.
Yeah.
And they're not abandoning EVs, unlike so many news outlets are insinuating. They're saying that we're not going to be able to hit our targets we had for 2030.
Yeah.
It's just not going to happen because so many things that we talked about, the tariffs, they weren't anticipating that. They weren't anticipating the Chinese market. It's going to be tough times for Oliver Bluma. This may be the push that the detractors are saying he shouldn't be CEO of both Porsche and VW. This may be the push where the family says, okay, we're going to get a separate CEO for Porsche.
That should be interesting. Maybe on a brighter spot for those that are looking for something that's new that's coming up is this possibility of a 992.2 Speedster.
Oh, here we go. Yeah, I think Autoblog was the first one to show the spy photos. They're calling it, a lot of people are calling it the 911 GT3 Cabriolet because the style, the spy shot showed what essentially a Cabriolet. But I tend to agree more with that. That's a mule, so I wouldn't be surprised if we start to see another one with a Speedster body on it. But is that a hybrid?
Wow.
It doesn't usually have stickers, Damon, when it's a hybrid in Germany?
On the Nürburgring, but I don't know.
Only on the Nürburgring?
Well, it might be because Nürburgring's a public road.
Yeah, that's what I was wondering.
So yeah.
I didn't read anything about that, so...
When you ask the question, how many more ways can they slice and dice the 911 lineup?
Yep.
Here comes your answer.
GT3 convertible.
All right.
And you know they'll sell every one of them.
Yep.
Yeah.
People are in line already.
Well, if they call it a Speedster.
Yep.
Be interesting how it's received as a... Because the 911T now is available in a convertible.
Right.
And it's the only convertible you can get with a manual transmission.
But could it be a GT3 Spider?
What's the difference between that and Speedster?
Yeah, I honestly think
Several letters?
It's a Speedster. I mean, unless they are.
Well, I
really
think
Spider's usually
that,
mid-engine, I think.
Yeah,
Is it?
Spiders usually are, at least for Porsche.
When it started with the 550.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Oh,
Yeah.
Good point.
Yeah.
All right. Let me just give you a quick update on upcoming events. Works Reunion. We're actually going to be packing up our pods to head out there. Our event is August 15th. Registration for Judge is closed. We've sold out. I think you still might be able to get a parking space in the corral if you're bringing your Porsche.
Well, registration closes tomorrow, so it's
okay.
closed.
By the time you listen to
By
this.
the time you listen to this, we've also... yesterday we only had 5 spots left in the corral.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Well,
And the Judge was
you can still come
oversold.
if you don't have a
We
spot
got
in
plenty
the
in general parking,
General
which is
parking.
its own car show on its own.
Exactly.
Yes.
Exactly. Truffin at Sea 2025, our 70th anniversary cruise, leaving out of New York August 30th through September 6th. Looking forward to that. And let's see, Damon dropped the GT4 RS Monterey autocross video.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. Thank you again, Leeds Gulick, for letting me drive it. But yeah, I drove that GT4 RS in Palm Springs for the review that I did on YouTube, so go check it out. And then 2 years later, that same car now has a Monterey kit, which has all sorts of things. The main I mean, it's basically brakes and aero are what they really focused on, in suspension. So it's basically what I want to make my own Cayman into. Only this one has, almost 500 horsepower, and yeah, very thrilling drive. You can see all my runs, mistakes and everything, and how I did not beat Leeds.
But you weren't that far back.
I wasn't too far back, but
For a car that you haven't had seat time in.
if I had
it was
one
impressive.
more run.
That's what we always say. One more run. One more
Go
run.
check it out.
All right. Well, if you want endless amount of runs, you can head over to PCASimRacing.com and just drive. Check out new tracks and drive with fellow Porsche folks online at any hour of the day. If you're looking for PCA Insider swag, head over to the PCA web store. We've got cups, we've got T-shirts and water bottles. But if you're just looking for a PCA Insider decal, or maybe a couple of them, just send us your address information to podcast@pca.org. Well, this one was a little bit long, but I think it was well worth it. We got to see some cool cars. Great to have you back at the table, Rob. And we'll see folks at Works Reunion Monterey here shortly. Anything else before we wrap it up?
Nope.
Thank you again to our presenting sponsor, Pirelli, and our new corporate sponsor, Auto Atlanta. Folks, thank you for listening. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and consider sharing our show with fellow Porsche enthusiasts. Until next time, stay safe, and we'll catch you down the road.